It's the new year. You may be getting back into the gym and you're looking for a new gym bag, but not just any bag, a bag that you can use for both the gym and everyday carry for like work and school and even maybe the occasional flight. I think that that's the target audience for the Core Backpack from King Kong. Now overall, I think it does a really good job at that. There are some limitations to this bag, and of course in today's video we're gonna go over all of that. I'm gonna show you the ins and outs, all the nooks and crannies. I'm gonna tell you what it's been like using this bag, and somewhere towards the back end of the video we're gonna do a full load out to show you how well it toes the line between everyday carry and gym bag. Like always, there's chapter markers down below if you want to skip ahead to a section that's more important to you. But with all that being said, let's start unpacking all the details of the Core Backpack from King Kong. What's up friends, it's your boy John and this is Unpack'd. If you're new here, welcome. I am so glad to have you. So King Kong is a bag brand that caters to the fitness community, primarily powerlifters and weightlifters. But for me, what really sets them apart from other bag makers in the same space is their unique designs and feature sets. Now I've seen those Wolfpack bags in the gym, and no offense to anybody carrying those bags, they just look like recycled 511 tactical bags to me in my opinion. Now if you were to stack some of those bags against something from King Kong, I think the difference is pretty evident and night and day. You might often see the King Kong logo stylized as KNKG, but their mama named him King Kong, so I'm gonna call him King Kong. So let's get the nerdy stuff out of the way. I'm gonna throw the tech specs for you up on the screen. Please feel free to give that a pause if you wanna get a better look at any of those numbers. Now this bag is available in 3 different sizes: a 13 liter, a 25 liter, and a 33 liter. What I have for you here today is the medium 25 liter. So when it comes to the stated capacity of 25 liters, I do think that that's a conservative estimate. When I was packing in bag and carrying this bag, it felt a little bit more like a 28 to 30 liter bag. So for me, in my opinion, it packs a little bit larger than the stated capacity. So this bag does come in 2 different materials, a nylon, and that's gonna be available in several different colors, and a limited edition wax canvas, which I have for you right here in the camel pattern. Now there is a $100 difference between the two, $170 for the nylon and $270 for the wax canvas. And in my opinion, $270 for a full Haley Stevenson's wax canvas bag is a bargain, is a steal. In my opinion, well worth the extra $100. Now this limited edition wax canvas also has one hell of an unboxing experience. It comes in this awesome wooden keepsake of a box here. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the unboxing experience. Now I did make a full Instagram reel and a YouTube short showing you everything that came in this box, but this nice wooden reusable box that it came in for you can use for different keepsakes. I think the unboxing experience is something that's a lost art. I grew up in the time of the early 2000s with the new iPhones and all the little fancy packaging, and I don't know if you remember, the very first iPod actually came with like a docking station and cables and all sorts of things. It was a real unique thing to unbox the latest tech, and those days are gone. Now you don't even get a charging brick in the box, but unboxing this was awesome. This wooden box is nice, good quality, and I like things like this where I can collect, I can put my pocket knives, my flashlights, and all the other knickknacks that I collect. So just wanted to touch on that. So not only do you get the limited edition wax canvas bag, you get this beautiful wooden keepsake box, but at the time of filming, the limited edition also comes with a matching wallet and leather keychain here that it matches the bag. So it's something to consider. For $270, $100 over the regular version, you get all of this, included as well. So most 25 liter bags that I've tested should pass as a personal item anywhere in the world, no problem. But like I mentioned, I felt this one ran a little bit larger than 25 liters, and it does struggle to pass as a personal item in my personal item sizer box here. Now it's all gonna be dependent on how you pack it out, but because of the loops in the front, the pockets of the front, I think if you even pack it out with just a normal load, it's gonna struggle to fit in the box, which is usually not the case for 25 liter bags. Now, I would still use this bag as a personal item, but that's the risk I'm willing to take. But you should have no problem flying with this bag. It'll fit underneath the seat in front of you. Again, no issue, but just know if you are challenged at the gate by a gate agent, you may not win that battle. Now, one of my favorite things about this bag is the aesthetics. Now, like most gym bags, it does have a tactical aesthetic to the bag. Now, of course, take the camel pattern out of it. Obviously, camel is gonna give it a tactical look, but Camo pattern aside, these MOLLE loops at the front where you can attach additional gear or accessories give it that tactical vibe. Like I said, it's not as bad as some of the Wolfpack bags and all the other stuff you see in the gym, very tactical looking. To me, this has a very nice silhouette. It is a top loading bag, but because of the loops in the front, it still has a hint of tacticalness. And of course, me picking the camo is gonna give it a little bit more tactical vibe. Now, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I am not a camo person, but when I saw this backpack in this very subtle wax canvas camo, it was an instant for me. An instant yes. I didn't even consider the other materials or the other colors. It was camo 100%. And that is the first time I've ever felt that way about a camouflage bag. Now, this is my very first bag from King Kong. And like I do every backpack, I ran through it with a fine-tooth comb. Now, I'm by no means a backpack construction expert or a sewing expert, but everything I found on this bag looked and seems and feels of very good quality. So like I hinted at earlier, the primary fabric on this bag is a Haley Stevenson's wax canvas. Now, the reason that that's a big deal is because Haley Stevenson has been making these materials for over 160 years. So they really know what they're doing over there in Scotland. Now, it is a cotton canvas bag that is coated in wax. And what that wax actually does, it absorbs into the cotton, making this extremely weather resistant. Now, one of the downsides to wax canvas is that it will pick up dust, lint, and pet hair a little bit quicker than some of the other materials on the market, like your nylons and polyesters. But I have 5 dogs and this bag has been holding up extremely well. Now, the other material that's really gonna tie in this heritage vibe of this bag, of the old school wax canvas, is gonna be the leather accents that are sprinkled across this bag. You have leather zipper pulls. They do have the KNKG letter stamped into them, so you see I have some branding on the leather zipper pulls. Up front, you have that giant KNKG leather patch up front, and up top you have the leather carry grab handle. It is nicely padded, and it is that brown leather that's gonna match the tag on the front and also the matching keychain and wallet that also come with this limited edition. Now, with these heritage materials, as you use this bag, as you carry this bag, it's gonna break in, it's gonna get that worn patina look, much how like old leather looks when it's nicely broken in. The wax canvas will also do the same. It's gonna pick up creases, it's gonna pick up marks and scuffs. It's gonna look like a bag well worn. And aesthetically, that may not be for everybody, but just something to keep in mind. Now, there's really 2 main features on the exterior that really cater to that fitness and powerlifting community. The first one are gonna be these MOLLE attachment webbing here. Now, of course, you can attach gear to the outside, but these are unique because they are actually held in by Velcro. So that's gonna give you a pass through right here. Now, what this is for your weightlifting belt. It can easily go around here, and then along the back side, it slips behind the back panel so it doesn't affect your comfort. So it slips right around here. Now, you could purchase a weightlifting belt through King Kong themselves, but I've seen tons of photos where people are using what they already have and it fits just as well. And the second feature that really is targeting the gym community here is the bottom shoe compartment. Now, I've seen other bags that have shoe compartments, and the different thing about this one is it doesn't have metal grommets here. And bag manufacturers usually put those 2 grommet holes in there to allow some airflow into the shoe compartment. Now, how well does 2 holes at the bottom of the bag allow for airflow? I don't know, you be the judge, but they're not present here on this particular bag. Good thing about a shoe compartment on a gym bag is, one, obviously you can carry your pair of shoes to the gym, but you could also use that as a place to put a change of clothes, some dirty clothes. After you've already sweated and worked out at the gym, you can stuff your old clothes down at the bottom so it doesn't mix and mingle with the other stuff in your backpacks. Now, continuing along the exterior, this bag is equipped with 2 water bottle pockets, 1 on each side. They are a generous size and they do have some elasticity to them, so you should easily be able to fit your shaker bottle and your 1 liter Nalgene into these pockets. But there's one thing to note is that they do push into the inside of the pack. So even though they have some elasticity, they still push inwards. So if you pack the main cavity out extremely, you are not gonna be able to fit these larger bottles in there. So keep that in mind. The more you pack it out, tighter the water bottle pockets become. Now, in the front of this bag, you have 2 zippered compartments. The front one is just the front slash pocket here. No additional organization down on the inside, also no additional volume. It's a very tight pocket. I didn't actually use this pocket because of how tight it was. And then you have the admin compartment behind there. Now, we run into the very first problem of the admin compartment. it catches every single time on the last loop of this MOLLE webbing. So whether you're opening the bag or closing the bag, you're catching that webbing every single time. Now I think a fix for this would be to delete the very last loop, make it flush and flat, so when you round these corners back and forth, you don't have anything to collide with. So a small little annoyance there, you have to pull away to get away from the MOLLE webbing, but just no braining it, trying to open it up, I caught the webbing every single time. Now, once you do get this zipper compartment open, it reveals this beautiful brown ripstop. Now, I love the contrasting color. It makes it easier to find your gear, but I also love the earth tones and it blends in really well with the camel pattern, in my opinion. Now, once we take a look at the inside of this admin compartment, on the back side, you have this mesh pocket there, a little bit of stretch to it. And on the back side, you have several different pockets. You have a larger one here that could easily fit a notebook. You have two medium-sized drop-ins there. And then underneath that, it's kind of hard to get on camera here, you have several small drop-ins that are like the size of credit cards. So it leads me to believe, is this supposed to be like a wallet replacement? Because the only really thing you could fit in these pockets is like credit cards. So it's like, this is the same kind of pocket that you would find in a wallet per se. So not quite sure what they intended with this, if this was meant to be a wallet replacement. I didn't use those pockets because again, they only really fit cards, maybe your gym membership card, but even that's a thing that is going away. Everything is digital nowadays. So this pocket doesn't have a lot of volume. It's rather tight. The more you pack out the main compartment, it makes this compartment even tighter. So I limited this to flatter items, and you'll see once we get to the pack out section here. But a couple of downsides to this compartment is the layout is a little bit questionable, and of course the entry into it isn't the smoothest. At the very top of the pack, you have an additional pocket for quick access, one of my favorite pockets at all backpacks. A great place to toss in your earbuds, phone, wallet, keys. No organization in this pocket, usually no bags do. It's just a quick dump pocket, but again, being a top loading bag, having this top pocket, in my opinion, is essential for quicker access. So now moving over to the bag's back panel, we're met with some slightly contoured straps. And here's one of the most polarizing things about this bag. When I first unboxed this bag, I noticed how thin the straps were. Now, I can be completely honest with you. If this bag were hanging up at a retail store and I walked by and I saw these straps, I would give this bag a side eye. And this is where the wizardry of the design team comes in from King Kong, because even though these straps aren't super curved and they're definitely not super padded, it carried extremely well. I've been carrying this bag for several weeks, fully loaded, about 25 pounds on the daily, and this thing carried extremely well. Again, I don't know what wizardry they're using because this bag is not very padded and it still carried extremely well. Another thing that's going to help you dial in that comfort is an adjustable sternum strap here. Now it is on this rail system, so you can make micro adjustments on the fly, really easy to adjust. Love to see that. And like I mentioned just a second ago, the back panel padding is beefy. This particular piece down at the bottom, this like chevron shaped piece here, the way it felt, the way it landed on my back, this was extremely comfortable. Like I said, I carried it about 24 pounds on the daily, and this padding up here and then with this chevron, this little shape here, the way it sat, it's just extremely comfortable. I was just so surprised at how little padding this bag has and how little padding the straps have themselves. It carried extremely well for me anyway. So this bag is equipped with strap keepers across the bag to help keep all your dangle managed. And of course, you'll find some more of that leather details here, even on the sternum strap. Down at the bottom of the adjustment straps here, you have this leather pull tab and of course a leather web keeper here to keep everything managed. These the little touches that give this bag an overall premium feeling. For me, this bag just feels like it punches way above that $270 mark in my opinion. Now, one last thing to note on the back panel, like we mentioned earlier, you have that pass-through for your weightlifting belt, but I also think that this was a missed opportunity from King Kong here to make this a luggage pass-through. I think if it would have came down just a little further, you could have used this as a luggage pass-through, but sadly you will not be able to. It is specifically made for just that weight belt, but maybe in a future edition they can figure out a way to make this dual purpose for your weight belt and a luggage pass-through. So this bag is a top loading bag, and I think that's a great choice for a bag designed for this use case, because this bag's going to be down in front of you at the bench in the locker room, or if you're sitting at a machine, this bag's down in front of you, so you want to reach down from the top. So I do like the top loading aspect for a bag of this design choice. Now when you get to the inside, it's very much like a duffel gym bag. There's not a lot of organization, and as a matter of fact, you only have the laptop sleeve here on the back and one small net pocket down at the bottom. I don't know if I can quite get it on camera, but that net pocket down at the bottom to me is not a good location because it's right on the opposite side of this front pocket here. And since none of these pockets have their own volume, if you pack this pocket out, you lose access to the back pocket. If you put bulky things into the back pocket, you lose access to this front pocket. It makes it even more tight. The other thing I don't like about the location of this small pocket down on the inside is that it competes with the shoe compartment. So if you use shoes, that eliminates that pocket altogether. You use stuff in here. I mean, the pocket just doesn't have a lot of use. In my opinion, for a top-loading duffel bag style like this, or just big open container, I think you would have to put pockets up at the top here at the sides or in the front there, because all your bigger, bulkier, heavier things are going to be down at the bottom, and sometimes you have a lot of dead space up at the top. I think that's where you'll get some use out of pocketing if you choose to put pockets on a bag like this. Because the exterior pockets are a little tight and there's almost no organization on the inside of this bag, the key to making this bag really work is packing modular. So that means using your own organization in the form of pouches and cubes. Now for me, that is perfect. That is my preferred method of packing for travel, for everyday carry. Now when I get to my desk, I actually unload my bag fully. I take out my lunch and all my pouches and I set them on my desk. My bag actually goes hanging next to my desk. Now my desk is actually magnetic, and I bought these magnetic hooks off of Amazon, and that's where I hang my backpack. So again, packing in that modular way is going to be one of the keys to success to getting this bag to excel. Okay, now for some likes and dislikes before we get into the loadout section and I give you my final thoughts on this bag. Likes for this bag. I really enjoyed the overall materials and aesthetic of this bag. I think this bag is stellar looking. The wax canvas, the subtle camel pattern, and from my understanding, I think this is a custom camel pattern that they developed specifically for King Kong. I could be wrong, but in talking with them, I think that's what I picked on, is they took a while to develop this camo pattern, so it's not something that you can easily pick up. And this subtle camo pattern, again, I'm not a camo person at all, but when I saw this bag, I 100% knew that I was going for the camo version. Okay, so that wax canvas tied in with all the leather bits just makes this bag really premium feeling, and I can't wait to see how this bag patinas over time, and I'm really gonna enjoy the look of that as well once this bag is nice and broken in. And the next thing I really liked about this bag is the carry comfort. I have no idea what wizardry they use to make these really thin straps so comfortable, but I can tell you, fully loaded with laptop, tag, all the things, 25 pounds, 24 pounds around there, it carried extremely well. And by looking at the straps, I wouldn't have guessed so in the slightest. And lastly, one thing I really enjoyed about this bag is the versatility of the shoe pouch. Like all bags with shoe pouches, of course you can put your shoes in there. If you're gonna go play ball, if you're gonna go take a spin class, you can easily put your cleats in here. But I also like this area because if I go to the gym, I get a little bit sweaty, I wanna change out of my sweaty clothes, and I can put it down here as well. It doesn't have to mix and mingle with the things in the main compartment. So I like that about this bag, is it doesn't take up a lot of room to have that extra compartment. And of course, if you don't need that compartment, you don't have to use it. It just compresses down all the way to the bottom. So again, it's one of the key features that makes this a hybrid gym EDC bag, and I think the versatility of it in general is just really useful. So when it comes to things that I didn't like about this bag, I only had beef with really one section of this bag, and that's this front admin compartment. Like I demonstrated for you earlier, every time you try to get into this part, it would always snag on the MOLLE webbing, either opening or closing. Okay, fine. You get over that and you get into this compartment. My second issue with this compartment is it has zero dedicated volume. So I always pack the inside of that bottom portion of the bag fully maxed out, and I could only put smaller, slimmer items into this pocket. So really limiting what you can put into this pocket. One of the keys to making a top loading bag extremely useful is to execute the external pockets extremely well, because you don't want to dig into the bottom of your bag every single time to find something. So if you have really good external pocketing, you limit those situations where you have to dig to the bottom. Now, because of this pocket being so tight, I found myself usually just using the main compartment and only really putting items in here that were like just in case items, stuff that I didn't really need, but I carry just in case, you know what I mean? So quicker access stuff, I kept it to the top pocket, or I just used a pouch on the inside and I had it externally. So I think in a future version, if they were to add a little bit of volume to this pocket, it would make this bag a home run. Now, something that could be a limiting factor for you could be the lack of organization just in general throughout the bag. Now, for me, that wasn't an issue because of the way I pack every day and for travel. I just use modular packing cubes, pouches, tech pouches, things like that. So if you're somebody who requires a ton of organization, this may not be the perfect EDC bag for you. So just keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to packing this bag out, one of the main features is gonna be that shoe compartment. Now, I have here my Go Rug Ballistic Trainers. These are men's 10.5 USA, and they fit fairly well down in this shoe compartment. No problem. So if you're somebody who needs to carry an extra pair of shoes, there are plenty of room down in here for that. They just disappear into the bottom of the pack. Now, I didn't travel with an extra pair of shoes. I didn't take a pair of shoes to the gym or anything like that, but you have that option. The downside is because they do eat into the main compartment. That really limits what you can put into the main compartment if you do carry a pair of shoes. But that's not unique to this bag, and that's going to be any bag, whether it be a gym bag, duffel bag, it doesn't matter, right? Shoes are just going to eat up room. So like I said, I didn't carry shoes, so I'm going to show you how I pack this bag out. But it's nice to have the option to carry shoes, and when you don't, like I mentioned, that compartment can easily compress down into the bottom of the bag, taking up almost no room. So this is a fairly tall bag, and on the website it says it can easily fit a 16-inch MacBook Pro, but I was curious because of this bag's height, could it fit a 17-inch laptop? So I have here the Dell 3D printout here. I think it's the XP or something like that. Anyway, this is a 17-inch Dell 3D printout, and this laptop sleeve in the back, now it's just a sleeve. It's one thing to note that it's just a sleeve. There is no additional padding on this sleeve, and the compartment itself isn't that elevated. It's like slightly suspended. So I would still be cautious when putting this back down. You could potentially damage your device. So just be careful on that aspect, but there is no additional padding. But I have a 17-inch Dell XP 3D printout, and it was still able to fit very easy into the laptop compartment. So no issue there carrying a 17-inch device. Now, you don't have an additional sleeve for an iPad or tablet, so just keep that in mind. So you're hitting the gym before or after work. What I have here is a pair of gym shorts, gym shirt, socks and underwear to take a shower, and I also have my microfiber camping towel here. Very small, compact, dries you very quickly without taking up a lot of space. So this is what I would take to the gym if I needed to shower, if I'm going before work or I don't want to go home sweaty, a change of clothes and my towel. So that would easily pack down at the bottom of this bag. Of course, I could also toss in my weightlifting gloves if I want to hit the dumbbells. And because I still have to use this bag for everyday carry, I can take my meal prep in my Carhartt Lunchbox. Plenty of room for that as well. And if you're gonna be showering at the gym, you're gonna need a small toiletry kit, and mine of choice is the Gravel Slim. Perfect size to fit down in here. And of course, I'm gonna need all my tech accessories that I need for the day. Again, packing modularly is what makes this bag really excel. So I have my tech case here. This is my Philip Robot case here. And inside here, I have my cables, my portable battery bank, chargers, 65-watt plug here, some backup headphones, and even have my allergy medications all wrapped into this single tech case. So a great way to stay organized in a bag that doesn't have a lot of organization, all in one little tech case there. And of course, you can't go to the gym without a set of headphones, so I have my Sony XM6s over the ear right down in there. Now, if you're gonna be showering at the gym, you're gonna need some sort of shower shoe, sandal, flip-flop, anything. Now, I made a video on these previously, but these are my Jimmy's travel foldable sandals. Now, I use them as a shower shoe. They're advertised as you can use them as shower shoes, but they're just sandals, and they fold down really nice and compact, but I use them as a shower shoe. And basically, if you're in the gym, you know, you already know, you should be using the shower shoe. So the Jimmy's foldable, they even fold down into their own carrying case. The carrying case even has a carabiner attached to the case. So if you wanted to attach it to the outside, you could absolutely attach it to the outside if you ran out of space on the inside. And because of those Molly webbing loops, you can easily do so. But because this bag is generous, and like I said, more than 25 liters in my own personal opinion, you can easily fit them down on the inside of this bag still. So you still have more room. You can really keep stuff in this bag. But look, I've got all my stuff for the gym. I've got all the stuff I need for my day, and even including my full lunchbox, all on the inside of this pack. Now for this top quick access pocket, a great place to put stuff like your phone. The included wallet, matching wallet I should say, would easily fit in here with that. And of course, your keys. And if you're somebody who doesn't take over-the-ear headphones and you take something like AirPods, just another great place to put your AirPods. And my AirPods actually have a carabiner, so if I wanted to, I can actually clip them to the outside of the bag as well. But it's not a very large pocket, but you can easily fit the essentials into this top pocket. Now that this bag is fully packed out, the front admin section, like I mentioned, doesn't have a lot of volume, so you're going to be really limited here on what you can put. So again, I just carry stuff that I didn't access all the time, but I like to carry, like my flashlight and pocket knife will easily fit into the drop-ins there. Flashlight, pocket knife, and you still have room for like a pen, even a small notebook. But the only other thing I would keep in there is my glasses, sunglasses in the microfiber case there. Just enough volume to hold them. I don't need them all the time. I actually don't use them that often, but I like to carry them just in case I'm driving into the sun on the rare occasion. But that's all I can really fit in there, and I'm really pushing it there with my glasses because it's kind of snug. But that's how I would pack out this entire bag. So now that this bag's fully packed out, your choice of water bottle pocket is going to be crucial here, because mine is a 26-ounce Yeti Rambler, and while it does fit, it is snug and it is pretty tight. That bottle's not going nowhere, but it did fit down in there. So if you're somebody using like a Nalgene, you may have to rethink that. I mean, it'll fit. You just got to really jam it down in there, but it'll still fit. So the smaller bottle you use, the better. Of course, if you're not packing the inside out as much as I did, these larger bottles are going to fit no problem. So some final thoughts on the Core Backpack from King Kong. This gym meets EDC backpack, I think, does a really good job. Now, of course, like I mentioned, there's some improvements that could be done on the next version that can really make this bag excel. But overall, I think it does a really good job on its intended use case. You still have a lot of functionality and space on the inside. And of course, you have the versatility of the shoe compartment and also this molly webbing on the front. Even if you don't use a lifting belt, you can still run a jacket or anything on the outside. So overall, I do think it's a really good blend of gym and everyday carry features mixed into one. But of course, whenever you're trying to find a jack of all trades bag, you're going to find a master of none, and this one is no exception. So just keep that in mind. If you pack modularly, this bag is really going to excel. If you need a lot of organization, you're going to struggle. So overall, I think if you have a really good sense of what your gym needs are and your everyday carry needs are, this bag could really work for you. Now, I would love to know your thoughts on the King Kong Core Backpack, especially this limited edition wax version. I think it is stellar. And again, at $270, I think that this is a steal of a bag, a bargain of a bag in my opinion. This is an extremely fun bag joining the collection of bags that I have. Now, I have about, well, I'm not going to say exactly how many bags I have because the feds are watching, or my wife could be watching, but I have a modest collection of bags. This one's definitely joining the collection, and this one's definitely going to get more use after this review. It's just a comfortable carry bag. I love the camel pattern. I love the wax canvas. Just a fun bag to carry in general, even if I'm not going to use it for the gym or carry it for every day. Now, if you have any more questions about the King Kong Core Backpack, definitely ask them in the comment section down below. I respond to every single comment. The goal of this channel is to help you find the right gear for you. Now, if you made it this far in this video, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I want to say thank you to King Kong for sending this bag out for me to test and review. Now, if you found any value in today's video or you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as that directly supports me and the channel. Thank you so much for supporting today's video, and I can't wait to see you on my next one.